everybody, it is Calxiyn and Hunter here if you guys enjoy this video. Okay, first of all, somebody said that the reason why it's Calxiyn and Hunter and not Hunter and Calxiyn is because of alphabetical order. So if you're in a partnership, it needs to go in alphabetical order, I've heard. Like Bonnie and Clyde, or Calxiyn and Hunter. Anyway, that was a point of contention last week. Hunter was like, why is it always Cal and Hunter and not Hunter and Calxiyn?
Is it like that with every?
Think about it.
Give me okay.
Hunter's just gonna think for like a really long time. Anyway, so you guys should become patrons over on Patreon if you guys want to support the channel, and you guys should subscribe for more analysis videos. So we are analyzing the episode.
Miles and Carrie. Carrie comes before Miles.
A B C D E F G
listen.
H I J K
If you scroll
L
back,
M. Oh wait, K was like all the way back there. Oh,
that's how
well, I don't know why people call them that then. That's stupid. Anyway.
What I'm saying is that you being first is invalid. I mean, it's valid for many reasons, but I'm petty. So, let's continue.
Anyway, let's continue. So...
This was a very good
episode.
This
was a wild episode, but, like, I feel like it didn't...
an episode.
Yeah, like, people are gonna say it didn't live up to the hype, but, like, the hype is over for a second.
Also, you can't just have it always be hype, because it's been hyped for a while.
I know, we're gonna die. Like, that's the thing.
We need, like, a little low.
Little
and
less
this one
hype.
still had its dramatic moments.
Especially for us, like, because I'm just thinking about the YouTube... I don't need these. I'm just thinking about the YouTube side of things. Like, we've been... toasted, like, for the past couple weeks. You understand what I'm saying, Hunter? Like, we've been tired. Like,
I've been tired for a lot of reasons.
I know, but I'm saying, like,
RWBY
we did,
related.
like, 8 videos last week, and we had to double up and, like, all of this other stuff because there was just so much to talk about, and, like, we're tired, okay? So this is, like, a nice... relaxing little vacation.
Because they can't all be like
they can't all be hype.
Sometimes they gotta go down.
Plus, there were good points in this episode for discussion.
Oh yeah, there were 2 very dramatic moments, I would argue.
Yes. So, I like how Yang is like, how could you think that hiding all this is okay? And then Ruby's like, Professor, right? I don't know if she calls him Professor always, or just this time because she feels like she's distancing herself from him. Like, I don't know if that's a regular thing that she does, or like if it's something I just haven't noticed, or what. But he's like, so what's your plan? And he's like, I don't have one. And I'm like, really? You've had like 1,000 years to think of something, and you can't come up with a plan?
They were
like, this is the worst case of writer's block, right? Like, how are you this dense,
honestly,
I guess? You know what I'm saying?
I would be an alcoholic too if I learned that I guess that was even
we figured out how to beat her.
Well, you just gotta love each other.
No, I mean, if you guys watched our video, we did a video on how to beat Salem, and basically we have to make her break her curse, right? So why didn't he ask, like, there's still, like, one more question they can ask Jin, and I feel like they should ask Jin, can you come up with a plan for us to subdue Salem? Like, something like that, where Jin can just do all the work, because she's the relic of knowledge, so obviously she would have to know, right? I'm guessing that's, like, they're gonna use another question, hopefully.
That, or
you know what I'm saying?
That, or they're gonna have to find a way to, like... okay, so either they're gonna have to be like, will you learn the truth of love, Salem? Or it will be
of
like...
life and death, Hunter.
Or it'll be like, the fucking gods come back. And then in that moment... Okay, what did we say again? That until she's learned her
lesson of life and death.
They need to somehow...
They have to make her learn her lesson, then she's not immortal, and then they can kill her.
But then again, if she learns the lesson of life and death, maybe...
And obviously she wants the Silver-Eyed Warriors for some reason. So, like, it seems like there are... things. But the fact that you can't make up, like, you've been alive for at least over 1,000 years, right? That's fair, right? He's been through 4 lifetimes. If each of them got to live to 100 years, that's at least 400, and he's lived more than that. You understand what I'm saying? So, Ozpin, honey, why? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's something that they could ask Jin. They could say, hey, Jin, do you have a plan? Like, can you make a plan? And then Jin will be like,
honestly,
okay. I guess that's not exactly what y'all are supposed to ask, but like,
hey,
okay.
Jin, can you create some kind
hey,
of
Jin,
Salem
can you do my
machine?
taxes?
Hey,
like,
Jin, can you do my taxes?
Yeah, or something
what?
like that. Like, you know
you
what I mean?
wasted a wish from a genie
not a wish.
on your fucking 401k!
Well, anyways, you know what I'm saying, though? Just ask Jin to do it. Right? She's a relic of knowledge, so you could ask her a question. What if the question is, hey, Jin, what would be your plan to defeat Salem? And Jin would answer.
My plan would be a very deep hole with which I would hide myself.
But since Jin is the relic of knowledge, she should know. Does that make sense? Am I making sense right now?
No, I got you.
Am I making feasible, understandable sense? Okay.
But then again, she does know, and she knows.
Yeah, she knows everything, so I'm guessing she could make a plan.
But she knows that there is no plan. That is what she knows.
I know, but what if she could make a plan for herself?
But she can't.
Why?
Because there is no plan.
Ozpin has no plan, but that doesn't mean there's no universal plan.
But yes, there is. Because,
what do you mean?
Because she said you can't defeat her. As
no,
in, like,
but we're not trying to kill her.
We're trying to subdue her in some more subtle way.
Yeah, we're trying to... This is about wordplay, okay? Ozpin asked, how can I defeat Salem? And she said that you can't, right? If they ask a different question that's a bit more open-ended, right? Like, Jin, what would be your plan to defeat Salem if you had to make one? Right? Like some sort of essay, hypothetical question. You understand what I mean? So, that's all that I'm trying to say right now, okay? He doesn't have one. Then...
This is why I'm glad that you are not the one that has the magic genie.
Why? Because I'd manipulate her, or what?
No, you would waste it on the most bullshit semantic answers. You're like, but hypothetically, right?
But objectively, is Kingdom Hearts
a way? And then it would be like, no, you fucking asshole, no, goodbye. And then she would go back in the light.
Anyways. So Crow punches Oscar, or Ozpin, so that's a big deal, like, in our reaction.
Not only did she punch him,
no.
he fucking flew!
What do you mean, like into the tree?
Yeah, Ozpin, he flew, like he was...
It
was kind of like that guy that bounced around when
Yang punched him? Yeah. It runs in the family. The Bronwyn punch.
Evidently, it must really... Yeah, there must be like a Bronwyn, like, right hook.
So, I'd like to talk about this in a different video, but this is why Crow falls into the pit of darkness, like in the trailer, right?
Oh yeah,
like,
he does not look very happy.
Because obviously that's real, like Salem's hand grab thing that she can do, but I think it's more metaphorical because he says, no one wanted me. I was bad luck to everybody that I touched, and, like, this was the one good thing in the world that I thought I could do, and now I can't even do that. Like, that's basically what he said. And then he says, meeting Ozpin was the worst bad luck I've ever had in my life, and I'm like, yikes. Yikes. But what if it's because, like... So, I guess to get into Team Stark things, because I want to do a separate video on this, so I don't want to talk about this too much now, but what if Ozpin sent, like, Summer and them to go defeat Salem, like people think, and there was no way to kill her. And so, Crow is now recognizing the fact that Summer died for nothing, and nobody, like, that was the worst luck of Crow's life was, you know, meeting Ozpin, because Ozpin kind of misled people and told people there was a way to beat her, and then they just sent off and went to die. So, we'll talk about that in a different video.
She thought, like, a silver-eyed warrior could do it?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Maybe we need more than
than
one silver-eyed warrior. So Bad Luck Charm plays. Ozpin basically takes a timeout. Like, he just locks himself up into the deep corners of his mind. Like, you know what I'm thinking about?
Also, it looks like it freaks out Oscar, because he's like, oh my god, where did it go? What's happening?
This is some Kingdom Hearts bullshit right now, because if you guys have played Kingdom Hearts, right, Sora has a bunch of people, like, in his heart, and they're just in there. And, like, sometimes they seem to come out, and then sometimes they just seem to, like, chill in there. Also... Alright, Unicorn of War published his, Volume 6, Chapter 3 notes on Patreon, if you guys... I support him on Patreon, so that's what my phone just did. Anyway, also, Yang calls him a bastard, which is like, just let Yang say fuck. Like, if y'all get one fuck of the season, it's gotta be Yang, or RWBY, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not on YouTube anymore, I'm guessing that's why they're swearing now. Like, swearing. They were on YouTube when Tyrion called her a bitch, but, like, now they're a bit more... You know? Anyway.
I feel like bastard is more acceptable than bitch.
Maybe.
Generally speaking.
But you understand what I mean? Like, they're pushing the boundaries, especially with, like, naked Jin. Right? You know what I mean?
Jin.
Titty Jin. Right?
As she's called, traditionally.
Anyway. So, what was I saying?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, so in Kingdom Hearts, right? Like, that's, like, the whole thing. Is, like, there are people inside of people, and it's, like...
It's stupid,
Yikes.
and it's not a very good game.
But anyway, my point is that Oscar says something to RWBY a bit later, and she says, oh, I'm just another one of his lives, aren't I? And RWBY's like, no, it's okay, like, you're your own person. And that's a very Kingdom Hearts thing. Like, Sora's like, Roxas, you deserve to be your own person.
I also love how
and Crow's just like,
walking behind him like, no, don't lie to the kid.
See, he said, don't lie to him, RWBY, we don't do that. You know what I mean? And so that implies to me, it's like, no, Ozpin may lie to us, but we're not gonna lie to each other and try to make each other feel better, right?
Yes.
Because, like, Ozpin probably said that there is a way to defeat Salem. I'm trying to fix the light. Yep, there we go. By, you know, beating Salem. Like, he probably said that to make everyone feel better, and then it wasn't true. So that's a big oof. Maria I'm just gonna turn off my phone.
Notifications, maybe?
I don't know. Like, nobody ever messages me, so I don't even know why. Like...
My life is so sad, I just assumed it wouldn't be an issue.
Exactly. Anyway. So, Maria takes control of the situation.
Smacks the shit out of people. She's like, listen, right? I'm fucked up.
She said, I didn't live this long to die in the snow. She says. And, like, that's true.
She's so cute.
Right? But I also just love her because she just sasses everybody. Like, she sasses Yang, because Yang's just like, listen, lady, I don't know who the fuck you are. And then Maria's like, hey, bitch. No. Like, you know what I mean? So there's that.
And she just sits all, like, grumpy-like on the back of Yang's motorcycle and is getting pushed by Yang. That's adorable.
I
really want to see, like, Maria kick some ass.
If we don't move, we die. And so I feel like there's, like, this could be a separate video. I don't have it planned or anything, but why is it when Hunter is moving, the light just, like, shifts and makes me look like more albino than I already am? Anyway,
you're just pale, honey.
So, like, the idea of keep moving forward, right? Like, that was Monty's thing. And, like, that's kind of what the team is sort of taking in. Like, you know, keep moving forward or we die.
What was Monty but an elderly Mexican woman? Really?
But Salem's whole thing is that she couldn't move forward, like with Ozpin's death, right? And that's why she's the villain, a lot of people were saying. And so, like, that may deserve its own video, because, like, that's, like, themes of RWBY and stuff. But, like, the idea here is, like, we have to keep moving or we'll die. Like, they can't get hung up on this. And so I think it's an interesting contrast.
It's very literal, because you know they're gonna freeze in the woods.
Yeah,
but
I know, but it can also be a metaphor, okay? So RWBY says that she's right. So they pick up their shit from the train, and I'm guessing they're looting part of the train, like some of the stuff that fell out. But here's my question, okay? I guess Adams didn't come on the train then. Unless he's just waiting. Unless he's just waiting there until they like, trying to track them, like, following... Remember we had a theory that Adam was on the train? I don't know if you were here for that.
I don't know. I might not have been. I don't remember that. Well, also, we see Adams back, like, at his headquarters.
I know, but that could have been, like, flashback, flash forward, like, we don't know. And so our idea is that Adam snuck onto the train. And so that means he's either with Juniper's half or with our half. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he came or not. Right? He may still be hiding in there. Like, he could just be waiting for them to get into a more secluded area, or for them to sort of break apart from each other. And so at the end of the episode, which we're not going to talk about right now, they go to Brunswick Farms, right? And so that would be a perfect place for them to all be separated and Adam to jump out of the trees or whatever.
I also find it hilarious that, like, they in no way had, like, winter clothing.
Well, I'm guessing...
Like, Yang's just chilling with, like, her whole belly out, walking around.
I'm assuming...
And I'm like, that would be so
maybe
cold.
When they get into the farm thing, they brought their bags with them, right? Like, they have their bags now. So I'm guessing that as they have their bags and their suitcases and whatever else, they have stuff in there. They may change. Or whatever. Or maybe they won't, and Miles and Carrie just did not give a fuck. But that's okay. So the Nevermore, or whatever those are, that happened in the Salem scene is the same one that she twisted. Like, when she was with Ozpin. I don't know if that's, like, intentional or not, but I thought that was cool. Maybe they just needed a flying thing in the shot. Okay, so also, they have an airship. And so a lot of people were like, okay, like, how are Emerald, Mercury, and Hazel, like, getting the fuck around? Obviously, they seem to have an airship. Who's piloting the airship?
Probably some
We don't know.
Who knows?
I mean, it could pilot.
Could be autopilot.
Like, I don't know. Like,
That's
I don't
what
know
happened
what
to
Watts
the
was
pilot
doing.
from Volume 4.
He just
didn't
started
die.
working
They
for
just
Salem.
kidnapped him. It's just like, wow, Salem has, like, really good benefits.
Because remember,
Taste
Neo can pilot things,
Yes.
as we've heard. And Neo is coming back, but I
Yes.
don't know if Neo has actually been working with Salem, or if she's on her own right now, and then she's gonna go get Cinder later.
Neo
you
was
understand what
working
I'm
with
saying?
Roman, who was working with Cinder, who was working with Salem.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of a divide.
And
Not
so
that
she's
just
probably
like,
not
oh,
piloting the airship.
not
But-
the Pan Am
But
pilot.
it would be interesting if Neo was the one told by Salem to go after Cinder. But I think it's more likely that Little Miss is just gonna tell Neo, and that's how they fight. Like, I feel like that has nothing to do with Salem, right? It's whatever. I think maybe Tyrion was a little annoying this episode.
Yeah,
it was a
it
little
was, like,
overdone.
Tone it down a bit. I know, but it's creepy as shit. So, like, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, this is just, like, uncomfortable. Like, I don't like it. But I think that's also the point.
I guess.
So that later on, when you see him, like, totally, like emasculated and terrified, it makes that moment a lot
His
stronger.
tail is just a stud. Like, I'm guessing it pops out into something,
Yeah.
but it...
Or, like, maybe it's like that's
it
just
looks like
a port,
tail cap.
like it's a dongle.
Right now.
Like, that'll go into,
Like
like
how
the big
Yang
tail.
had that cap over her arm for a while before she got her new one. Like, I don't think Tyrion has his new tail yet.
But you know what? That's what your kids should sell on their website.
What?
Is nub caps.
Nub caps?
Nub caps, just for your nubs.
Okay. Take that in consideration, restricted. Yeah, his tail is just a stud. Emerald is gonna cut a bitch, and I feel like...
Why, she
like,
did cut a bitch. That was the creepy part where she was like, I'm gonna cut you up, and then
he just
Salem,
rubs himself against the blood.
does the thing from
Wait,
the...
what? You mean Tyrion? What are you
Tyrion, sorry,
talking
not
about?
Salem. Tyrion does the thing from the trailer where he's like right up to Emerald's
And then
face,
he's like,
cuts himself, and he's like...
like that. But
Weird
yeah.
as shit.
We
Oh,
talked,
it's
we did
upsetting.
like 3 videos at the end of last season about Emerald, and so I feel like we don't really need to do one again, you know? Even with this updated information, because we were talking about, okay, so where does Emerald, like, is Emerald gonna get an arc? Like, where is this going? I think they're pointing in the direction of something like that, because it seems like Emerald is being groomed by Salem a bit. Like, honey, you have to understand. Like, she puts her arm on her shoulder. She wants Emerald to tell her who fucked up, right? Like, it's a manipulation tactic, I guess. You understand what I'm saying, Hunter? Also, I like how Emerald and Mercury protect each other. Like,
Yeah.
Mercury's like, back off, you freak! Like, I
initially took Mercury, like, when I think I said that in the reaction, when Mercury was there, I was like, I feel like Mercury would be the type of person just to fuck off.
But maybe he
But I feel like
feels
Zen
for
and
Emerald,
Emerald
like,
are
you know,
like,
they're
they're like,
brother
well, I
and
guess we're bros
sister.
now.
So-
We gotta look after each other. And so he kind of does that. and
Here's,
it's cute
like,
as
the
shit.
interesting part of this episode. Salem doesn't want Hazel to lie. Like, she's basically only asking her question because she already knows the
No,
answer.
yeah.
It's like when your mom is like, hey, like, did you take out the dishes? And you're like, yes, even though you didn't do it yet. And then she's just like, well, I know that you didn't.
you do
I already
that?
know that you didn't do it. No, I was just trying to find an example, and I couldn't think of anything
I was always
better.
just staringly honest with my mother. Like, no, mother, I've done nothing today.
No, but yeah, I couldn't think of a better example. But it's like something like that. Or do you know on Twitter how a lot of people are like
Lying?
no.
Papa?
You get a text from your mom and she's like, did you take the turkey out of the freezer or something? And then people have to put the turkey in the microwave because they didn't take it out of the freezer, like to defrost or whatever for their parents. Like, that's kind of what I feel this situation is reminiscent of. These were all terrible examples and I'm so sorry, but I didn't write any in my notes. But basically, she already knows. Like, she knows Cinder's alive. She knows what happened somehow. Like, she knows who did what. And I'm guessing that's because of the seer grim. Right? Like, the thing that she uses to kill Lionheart? Like, she can see through that, obviously. And so I'm guessing that just went around the school and took some video for her, I guess. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, she knows. That's it. Like, she knows what's happening. So, I feel like that's why. Because Hazel's like, I take full responsibility. And then Salem's like, that wouldn't be fair, would it? Right? And
flips. That's also what I found interesting. Because when she flips the table, she flips it on Tyrion. And Tyrion looks terrified.
Yeah.
And so it's a big difference.
I feel
from,
like all of
before.
her actions are intentional. Like, she flips
Yeah.
it on Tyrion because Tyrion has to know who's boss all the time.
I also
and it's
found it
her.
hilarious that Watts was like, I'm just gonna walk back behind this
I'm just
chair.
gonna
hide.
stay over
He's
here.
such a bitch. It's
Right?
hilarious.
And so I'd like to do sort of a video on, like, I don't know, like, Salem's, like, subtle manipulations, but, like, that's definitely one of them. Flipping the table, putting her hand on Emerald. But also, like, you know, asking Emerald to name Cinder, right? But it's kind of funny, though, because she's actually, like, she's kind of doing the right thing in a way. Like, Hazel shouldn't have to take the blame for something that's not his fault. You know what I mean? Like, Hazel shouldn't have to take full responsibility for something that he has no blame in. And so I feel like that may be something that Cinder... Because she says that wouldn't be fair. Or Salem, I should say. She says that wouldn't be fair, right? Like, I feel like that she's about fairness because, you know, with the gods, she says that's not fair. Like, when they won't bring back Ozma. And so I feel like that even though she obviously has, like, a weird way of going about it, like, dragging Hazel into some grim goo or whatever, like, she just wants him to tell the truth. Right? She doesn't want him to take blame for something that's not his fault. And so that's kind of a good thing. Like, you understand what I'm saying, Hunter?
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to say, no, that's good that she's not letting him do that, but at the same time, it's like, but she's bad. Right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I guess it's sort of like, you know, like, it's a good thing, because she could have just, like, kind of said, okay, like, it's your fault, I'll murder you then. But she has a sense of, like, fairness and, like, justice, I guess, or weird... some weird
him.
shit. Like, stop protecting Salem, or stop protecting Cinder. Like,
and
you don't have to take the blame for anything that's not your fault, honey.
Like, she can come back after she's redeemed herself.
And so I want to talk about that in a minute. But I feel like, again, she's trying to groom Emerald, and she says, like, she has to understand her failure first and be in isolation. And that's what the gods did to Salem, so that's kind of interesting, right?
Evidently,
like, the gods put Salem in isolation, effectively, until humanity came back, and so that's what they're doing to Cinder. And so I wonder if that's intentional on Salem's part, is that she sees it as, hey, when I was in isolation, I got so much stronger, as opposed to, hey, the god shouldn't have done that to me now. Like, now as she's looking on it, she got stronger because the gods were assholes. You know what I'm saying, Hunter? Okay. So, Watts questions Salem, which is an interesting moment, because Salem just looks at him like, what, bitch? Like, because she's like, Cinder's alive, you're joking. And then Tyrion's like, how dare you go against our divine queen? And then, like, she just looks at Watts, and Watts is like, yeah, my mistake. Like, you're right. But at the same time, how would she know that? I guess it's through the Grimm, right? Like, it's through the Seer Grimm. She probably figured that all out. And so she says...
Or maybe because Salem's Grimm as well.
Maybe?
Or so rather, Cinder's Grimm.
Maybe she can keep, like, a tracking device on her. Oh, God. So she basically gives the speech that she did in the trailer, and we talked about parallels in the speech to, like, Salem's backstory and whatever. But they also say the path of their desires is through Salem. Like, Salem's the only one that can get them all what they want. But, like,
what does everyone
want?
I
mean, Hazel wants revenge on Ozpin, so that makes sense.
Don't know what Cinder wants. Don't really know what Tyrion wants.
Cinder wants power, for now.
Sure.
Tyrion, I feel, just wants to worship something.
Yes.
Watts, I think, wants to not be disgraced, because he's a disgraced scientist. I think he wants Atlas back in a weird sort of way.
Possibly.
But, like, what do Emerald and Mercury even want? Like, they're there for Cinder. They weren't there for Salem, so it's like, I don't know. But she says now we have to press on, so obviously she's learned a bit of a lesson, because we talked about earlier, keep moving forward. Now she's deciding to press on,
and then
right? Then she says, the sword under Vacuo Academy, which at first I thought she said Veil, and I'm like, huh, she thinks the Veil relic's a sword, she's so stupid, right? Because the Veil relic's actually the crown, and it was trickier to find, apparently. Right, Ozpin put in some security measures, so that one was harder to find. But no, she said Vacuo. So it looks like that her plan was to go get it from Veil, then go to Mistral, or at least maybe the Veil one would have changed, like if they actually got that, but after she was deciding to go to Mistral, and then to Vacuo, so why? And I think that has something to do with what Hazel says, is that Team RWBY's being led by Ozpin, and Ozpin is the only one that can knock some sense into Ironwood, and so I feel like that's why they were going to Vacuo next, in terms of the turn order, but now they're obviously going to Atlas, because that's where RWBY and Co are going. But it seems like, to me anyway, like, that's sort of the idea, is that they need more relics before they can storm the gates and get into Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they can't just run into Atlas now with, like, no relics.
Although we don't... Oh, I mean, I guess Atlas, yeah. I don't know what... I feel like the last one they're going to return to is Vale.
Obviously, but I think in terms of their head, they wanted to get all the other relics first before messing with Atlas, because Atlas is under lockdown. But apparently, Ozpin is somebody that can knock sense into them. Right?
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? Here's the other thing. When I swear to God, I thought Hazel was gonna be, like, gonna say led by Maria. Like, I thought that's what he was gonna say because Maria's with them, but obviously he wouldn't know that. Yeah. But for a minute, that's what I thought he was gonna say, and I was gonna lose my shit, because right? Because Maria is in charge right now, and she's, like, you know, we still don't know much right now. I mean, she's in charge by the fact that Crow is a drunk adult and the rest are children, so now... It's her responsibility, if that makes sense. So yeah, the sword under Vacuo, she starts, but then Hazel's like, no, we're gonna go to Atlas, right?
But they're going to, but he also says, and Ozpin's with him, and Salem loses her shit.
Yeah, so the windows start cracking.
That was freaky.
Right? Like, you know.
Like, you could feel, like, the scene was very intense, you could feel the pressure in the room.
And Tyrion's like, not if I can help it. Like, he's trying to be Salem's, like, weird knight in shining armor, and it's weird. It's kind of creepy. The music here in this scene is also wild, but I don't even know. Like, Hazel's just like, hey, Emerald, we gotta go. And she's the last one that looks into the room. But why does she explode like that?
Maybe because she's angry that she thought she'd have more time not having to deal with Ozpin. I think that's what it was. Because remember,
or Ozpin's wrecking her plans, I guess?
No, I think it was because
like,
she
if
thought
Ozpin gets through to Ironwood, that wrecks their whole plan of storming the castle. Right?
I also think because someone, I forget, it might have been Watts, was like, already? I think that's what it was, that she thought she would have more time not dealing with Ozpin. What? Which, hey, maybe she doesn't, because it looks like Ozpin ran away.
I mean, he's, like,
or retreated
in
significantly.
his timeout corner in his head. So, I like how Maria's just such a good character already. Like, Yang's just like, don't you have it, like, you know, Yang says something like, I thought, like, trails led somewhere, and Maria's just like, don't you have anything better to do than to harass a defenseless old lady? Like, she uses people's words and throws them back right away, and I think that's such an interesting, like, little part of her character, if that makes sense. So they basically find the farm, and it's abandoned, and it looks like the place in a series of unfortunate events where they have to go to the mill, or whatever, and it's called Brunswick Farms, it looks abandoned, and there's the hole in the ground, like the thing that looks like where
RWBY would jump
RWBY
in
is fighting the Cthulhu thingy that's in the hole. So
Cal
what is Brunswick?
Cal was like, look up all you can about Brunswick. And so this is what I learned about Brunswick.
I feel like we learned nothing about Brunswick.
No, I did learn quite a bit. In fact, I still have notes. But Brunswick is basically, there's a lot of places in America, Canada.
Well, New Brunswick, that's the whole...
Yeah, and in England, and they're all called Brunswick. Brunswick with, like, based off of a house, of a royal house, a royal a royal English house. There is also a city in Germany called like Brunswick or whatever.
Brunswick,
which is like the German version of Brunswick. I tried to look through that city. There was nothing significant other than they have like a famous what is it called? Some like famous. I thought I was lucky because I looked at culture and it was like they have a famous like jester character, and I'm like, ooh, does he have many arms? No, it turns out he just throws poop at people. So I don't think that there's a lot of... So basically,
we didn't find a lot about Brunswick. What I did find
out is that Brunswick, is the historical name, German city, English name for the German city of so German, Schnee, and Weiss, and
Atlas.
Well, Atlas
Hunter's
was
making some, like, reaching
motherfucker, excuse you, I have, like, dragon egg in the sky. Calm down.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is that it's a German name, it's an English name. Atlas has always seemed to kind of be like German, Englishy, like industrialist. So maybe that's the connection.
Post-dystopia America or something. Miles and Carey said something like that. Also German though, so it all kind of works, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it works. So that's, I guess, why they went with Brunswick, because it kind of brings those connotations.
But
But and if there's a poop throwing
Why
jester...
would you build a farm where you know it's gonna snow a lot? Does that make sense? Like, maybe it's not like this all year
Hey,
around.
Cal, yeah, because there's also farms where we live, and it's freezing 7
Yeah,
months
I
out
know,
of the
but
year.
I'm saying that it seems like, I don't know if it's gonna be snowy up here forever, but this seems like it's almost a mountain area where there's snow. Like, are we in winter a lot? Like, right now? Because I thought the school semester was starting, and the school semester starts in fall, but it's snowy up here, right? But it's been 2 weeks after the fight, so at the same time, it's 2 weeks. It would be 2 weeks into September, though. So why would it be? You understand what I mean?
Listen,
like, why would you make a farm
you're trying
when
to make
it's
the RWBY timeline
snowing?
make sense, and it clearly
You
hasn't
feel me,
always.
Hunter? That's all. I mean, some places it snows earlier,
But
right? 'Cause
also,
it's
you
colder?
need agriculture wherever you are, even if it is really cold.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to grow things in the snow?
Could be animal agriculture.
Oh yeah, they have like barns or something.
Yeah.
It seems like so maybe it's
I don't
not
know what hay they're feeding them, but
maybe it's not
could be animal agriculture.
a farm, but like an animal.
Maybe they
farm.
could be like, listen, like, there's a lot of weird shit in RWBY. Maybe there's like, these are my snow-eating pigs.
Maybe I don't know.
So they walk into New Brunswick. We look like we
They
see the
walk
whole...
into New Brunswick.
Walking in New Brunswick. That'd be fucked up if like they have a Canadian character.
Oh God.
Oh my
Dress
god.
like this.
Can I?
Like-
Yes, exactly.
Can we voice the Canadian?
Can I
character?
voice the Canadian character?
Oh, God.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun, eh?
That's so funny.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, what's this all about?
Anyway, no. But anyway,
I'm very
that's
upset.
pretty much it, I guess.
It's very sort. We can understand that.
It's
bad
a
things
much
happen.
more chill episode this week, which is good.
Bad
because...
things happen in New Brunswick.
Oh God.
Terrible things
It's
happen
a
in
more
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick is where Vancouver is, right?
It's in the exact opposite side of the country.
Oh.
This is the
Pacific
Pacific
British
Ocean.
Columbia, and then New Brunswick is over here. Yeah.
You are a Canadian citizen.
I forgot. I couldn't
You
remember.
went to. How do you fuck it up that bad?
I don't know.
That's like if
I
you
was thinking
thought
of British
California.
Columbia. That's why, like British Columbia, and then Brunswick got jumbled in there.
That's like if you thought Columbia was next. No, that's like if you thought California was next to Maine.
Listen, I'm
Like-
wearing my dumb bitch wig. Okay. Leave me alone.
Who the fuck? All right.
Anyway, that's a good way to end the video. I promise I'm not stupid, but like, you know how we had to make those maps of Canada in geography all the time, Hunter?
Yeah, we
like
had
those
in geography in
didn't
grade
those
9.
just didn't stick with me.
What's the capital of Yellowknife? Okay, I should.
Is it Yellowknife the
Is
capital?
the capital
It's
of
none of
the
it,
North-
right?
Okay,
Or is
no,
it the
Iqaluit.
I mean,
It's the Northwest Territories.
yeah.
And
is
White-
it Yellowknife
it's
the
Yellowknife.
city or whatever?
And
So
yeah,
the
and
thing
then
is-
Yukon
yeah.
is Whitehorse, I believe. So I
Okay.
fucked that
so
up, too.
Hunter's stupid too.
So
I'm glad we're all
listen, right?
stupid.
Listen,
Anyway,
right?
it's
You
time to go.
rearranged a continent. I forgot a city's name. Calm
Okay.
down.
Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you later. Bye! Thank you to our wonderful patrons over on Patreon for supporting the channel. Patrons get a bunch of different cool rewards ranging from access to VIP chats or getting video tickets, which can basically be used to request us to do videos, for example. We can advance early access or access to our Discord server. All of those are rewards that our patrons can get, and it's pretty cool. I do recommend it if you guys want to support the channel. We have so much fun talking on our Discord server about whatever it may be, whether that's RWBY or Kingdom Hearts or Miraculous Ladybug, right? And the early access helps you guys obviously get to see our videos before anybody else does, and so that's also pretty cool. The VIP chat is pretty exclusive. I can reply like a bit faster there. It's a bit more one-on-one. So if you guys are interested in any of those, I do suggest that you guys become patrons over on Patreon. The link is in the description, and thank you again for all of our patrons for helping us out. We'll see you guys later. Bye.